Boogeyman band coming round the bend. Is Boogeyman band. Is Boogeyman band.
Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends. Thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This is a video that I had not planned on recording this evening. I was actually going to do some content, Salem's Lot content, that I've been kind of teasing on Instagram and here on YouTube, but found out some really sad news tonight, and I have kind of a personal story to go along with this news. Now, there's not a lot of detail at this moment, but it looks like legendary stunt actor Bob Elmore, who a lot of people will know as Leatherface. Bill Johnson did get credit as playing Leatherface, but from everything that I understand, Bob Elmore was the one that actually did most of the work as the character in this. But much like the late great Steve Dash, who played the majority of the Jason role in Friday the 13th Part 2, and Warrington Gillette was credited as Jason, being the actor who played in a couple of scenes, especially the infamous window scene where he jumps through the window to get Ginny Fields. Found out through Sean Clark's, someone I follow and just have a huge respect for, that it seems that Bob Elmore has passed away. It looks like he was diagnosed with something. I can only assume what it is because it hasn't been called out exactly what happened, but Sean did say that he found out about a month ago when he talked to Bob that he had been diagnosed and was at that point trying to find ways to take care of his family financially before he passed away, and Sean was involved in helping him do that. So this really brings me a lot of sadness to hear this, because while I never got to meet the man, I have a story to go along with this, and it's something I did record back in August of 2022. There was a con called Creatures Con that was actually in town where I live. It was actually taking place on August the 7th. That week, my wife's grandfather had passed away, and I knew my friend Brian Jones, who runs one of the people that runs Sinister Creature Con. At that point, he was the rep for Bob Elmore, and Bob Elmore was going to be at Creatures Con. So I was going to have the opportunity to meet one of the actors that played Leatherface. At the same year, I had gone to the Colonial Theater and had seen a screening of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I got to meet John Dugan, who played Grandpa. Awesome guy, one of my favorite people that I've ever met, and Edwin Neal, who played the Hitchhiker. And I was so excited I was going to have the opportunity to meet Bob Elmore. But of course, with the tragic passing of my wife's grandfather, we had a bunch of family things that were going on that weekend, and I had to tell Brian that I couldn't make the con. Brian understood, but he, I guess, told Bob about what was going on, and Bob signed two things for me, free of charge as a gift, and I was just so overwhelmed by this gesture. So during the con that day, he told me that Bob wanted to sign something for me and asked me to pick out one of the pictures that was at Bob's table at that con. So he sent me through Facebook Messenger pictures of the different 8x10s, and I picked one, and it was the one from that People magazine shoot that was in November of 1988, where you had Bob Elmore as Leatherface, Robert Englund as Freddy, Kane Hodder as Jason, and the late George Wilbur as Michael Myers. One of my favorite photo shoots ever. I have a giant poster of it on the ceiling in the Horror Zone. He signed that for me, and also signed a poster for me that I didn't pick out, and it was actually the Scream Factory poster image that had been on that release of the film. And I met Brian later that day after the con had ended, and he gave me those items and told me that Bob had planned to do more cons in that area, eventually maybe Sinister Creature Con or something like that. So it's unfortunate that I never got to meet the man and thank him personally, but I did thank him through Brian. And just what an awesome gesture for somebody that never met me, and to do that and give me two things free of charge. And it just really was a dark time, and really just put a smile on my face. And I'm very saddened to hear that he passed away. It just really took a lot out of me this evening, because that's the closest I've ever gotten to meeting him, and I never had the opportunity to tell him in person just how much what he did meant to me at that time in my life. If people don't know the other things that Bob Elmore was a part of, just besides Texas Chainsaw Massacre, he wasn't an actor in a couple of things. He was in The Usual Suspects. He was in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. But he did stunt work for not only Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, but also The Monster Squad, License to Drive, Who's Harry Crumb, Uncle Buck, Nothing But Trouble, Only the Lonely, Delirious, Dr. Giggles, Casino, City of Angels, Being John Malkovich, and Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. I will close this video showcasing the items that are still on the wall. They're right there that he signed for me. I've had them there since August of 2022, and just sending out a big thank you to the late Bob Elmore. Like I said, I don't have much more information than what Sean Clark has posted, and I wanted to make sure I did this video just thanking the man for touching this fan's life with that kind gesture. And it just showed what a good person he really was, and playing this iconic character in this amazing film that has really grown on me over the years. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. I'm going to watch it this evening to pay tribute to the late actor, the late stuntman. Heart goes out to his family, his friends, his colleagues, people like Sean Clark, who just talk about what a great person he was, people that knew him and loved him. And I'm very saddened by this news. So just wanted to do this real quick. I hope everyone is doing well, and I thank you so much for the support, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace.